Hello and happy Monday, I think. I am actually sitting in a very public place here in front of QT, getting ready to go in and grab a beverage. I'm on my way to school. I am going in because we're doing something that has to do with writing. That's all I know. But a couple hours today, a couple hours tomorrow, and that's all I have to report. If you're wondering why I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing yesterday, it's because I just did laundry yesterday and it looked good and it was clean, and here I am. Anyway, I am gonna run in, get myself a beverage, and I will catch up with you later when I have something to report. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I'm getting ready, kind of, it's only 9 o'clock, right? Yeah. I'm kind of getting ready though to go into school. I won't go for a couple hours, but I wanted to show you a couple of things that came out. Well, one thing that came out of our, meeting yesterday on writing. I'm jotting some notes down. Do you love these notebooks? Oh my gosh. I have every kind ever made, but these, and there, I'll go to an empty page so you don't get to see my to-do list. But I just love the simplicity of them. I don't know. Love. Getting ready to put some things in order here for writing. So what I did yesterday, we met, grade levels. Let's see, there was kinder, first, second, was there third, half of third, and fourth, right? Yeah. And we got together, decided, well, we didn't really decide. We were kind of told what our focus was going to be, but it's fine because it makes good sense. Instead of races this coming up school year, we're removing the R, the restate the question. I did kind of, I don't want to say I took issue with it, but I'm not really certain why it needs to be removed because we're still doing it. But there was a whole article that was presented, not really an article, slides that were written by somebody, not our people, about why aces is better than races. And okay, whatever, I'll take the R down. I think restating the question is very important, but it can be done in the A of answer the question. So that being said, we talked about that. Then we talked about each grade level. My eyes are burning. I think it's because I'm awake. Each grade level is going to, no, it's the fan. It's really fanning. Dakota fanning. Anyway, I'm sorry, that's my brain. Monkey underpants. If you're a Gilmore girl, you'll understand that. Anyway, focus, Butler, focus. The focus that we have is to develop a rubric. Was that hard? No. We're developing our own rubrics across the grade levels because obviously kindergarten is going to have a very different writing focus than fourth grade. At least we would hope. We would hope. The yawns are coming. The headache is there. It's just, it's just, let's say it together, the weather. It's the weather. Okay, I feel ready to talk now. Anyway, one thing I found, one thing we had talked about, one thing I'd done earlier this summer, and I was like, oh, I know this, I want this, I do this, I have it in my wish list. Bought it last night. I'll put the product right here, but essentially it's called a bump it up wall. You can do a wall, you can do a corner, you can do just the idea, it doesn't really matter. But this is the color scheme. They did have a brighter one. And I was like, you know what? I kind of digging this one. It's because of the blues. Aren't those pretty together? So the idea behind a bump it up wall is that you give actual examples. What an idea of writing at a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. I don't know. I don't know that we're going to do that, but we'll see. At least 0 through 4. And then the words bump it up. You didn't need to see them all, but you did. And then this product has several examples. This is where I chose to start based on what I know about my kids as fourth graders, but also the particular kids coming up. This is what the third grade teacher and I decided, not really decided, but through our talking, weren't looking at this product, but kind of where they are and what would be a good, So 0 is going to be a blank sheet of paper because you get no points if you do no work. That's a thing. Then we have number 1. And the power in the bump it up wall lies where you can look at your student and say, this is really something. Great work. I want you to do da 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 to see if you can bump this up to a 2. Isn't that cool? So that is what we're doing. So here's a 1, here's a 2. You'll notice the differences as we go. A 3, more details, better language. A 4. See, there's only 4. Maybe the 5 is some of the older texts. There is maybe a 5. Anyway, look. A 5 or a 4, a 4. So we're giving kids a very awesome visual between what is a 1 and what is a 4. The wind is doing me dirty here, as far as what their work looks like. And our kindergarten teacher has done a version of this. And I used to do this in third grade a long time ago, like years ago. And I had it on, I remember it was on a blue multiple construction papers, and I had them printed out in color, laminated, and it said, they were in stars though. It was like, and it didn't start with 0. It was like 1, 2, 3 or something. Maybe there was a 4. But anyway, why didn't I keep doing that? I don't know. Probably got lost in a move and forgot about it. Anyway, our kindergarten teacher does this, and she takes, let's say that this was hanging up, on your bulletin board as the exemplar for a 1. She has their numbers on clothespins, and she goes or I don't know if she does it or if the kids do it, she puts them on here and then moves as they improve. I don't know if I'll do that or just make this a bulletin board. I haven't decided. Having 2 groups makes it a little more tricky because you have 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s. So, I can color code like I do with everything. I don't know. Haven't thought that one through, but I want to get this laminated so that I am ready to make a bulletin board. I don't know if I'll put it up today or not, but I'm at least gonna, I don't even know if I'll go to my room, but if I do, I'm just gonna think it through and then we'll decide. Another thing that I bought recently that I wanted to show you, okay, so our focus campus-wide this year is, it's always more than just one thing, but the big push this year is for sight words and math facts. Just that. So we are going to, because our theme is around the world, we have some really cool flags up in the hallway. I'm so excited. I love a new theme. We are going to do some sort of student passport that we can use to track both sight words and math facts. My partner teacher and I talked about making it a combined book, and then it can travel with the student. Or it can stay in their homeroom. I'm not really sure. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should have one for sight words, one for math facts. I don't know. We'll get that decided. But it's so good to be with other teachers who are at your campus doing the same thing you're doing. And some of them, like my third grade teacher colleague, had purchased a set of passport stamps. Now, I bought clip art to do some cool things with of passport stamps that are really kind of fun. But I want something to stamp in their passport book. So I might ask her today where she bought them. I feel like I've seen them. They might be Oriental Trading. I'm not really sure. But that would be kind of a cool way once they, you know, hit a milestone with their sight words. Now, you think you teach 4th grade. Why are you doing sight words? Many of our kids do not have their sight words memorized. Many of them do. We talked about that. My 4th grade teacher, content colleague, and I talked about what are we going to do if either they come in knowing every single sight word up through the 500, up through the 3rd grade list. What are we going to do for them? Because they need a focus, they need a goal. So their passport will look different. It might be reading comprehension goals. It might be fluency goals, but we'll see. I'm not really sure. That brings me though to what I bought. This is a product I'll put right here. It's by Sierra Harris Teaching, and the copyright on here is 2020. So it's not a new product. However, I love her stuff. It's very tried and true, in my personal opinion. And I've used several of her things in small group as, you know, I was teaching in 3rd grade. She has a product, 10-minute interventions, I think it's called, and I've used that quite a bit. Anyway, this product is a close reading product. Now, these are in a bundle called Back to School. It's not really a bundle, it's just a product called Back to School. I'm sure that was, yeah, if I didn't already, it'll be up now. But I bought this one and then Animal Adaptations. Put that one here. Anyway, the Back to School has Lexile levels. The other one does not. So I am thinking that the Back to School one might be the only one that has, but I'm not sure because I've only purchased these 2. But you have different activities to do. Let me just take this one page. Each of the 5 days. And one thing I really like about this, it doesn't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So day 1, day 2, day 3. If this passage takes you 2 weeks, because we meet with our kids every other morning, afternoon when we switch. So if I start with class A this morning, I'm going to finish with class A tomorrow. Does that make sense? So we flip-flop every single day. And we do that because of minutes that they need to have their full 120 minutes ELA, full math, and with specials. And we're calling our RTI time WIN time, which is not new. It stands for what I need. Same idea, what I need time. Because we have our specials and our WIN time in the morning, we lose time with that morning group. If we kept the same class always in the morning, they would get shorted time every single day. So that is why we do the flip-flop. Just stop for a quick coffee break. Anyway, so what I do like about this is day 1 might be Monday, it might be on a Wednesday. We don't know. And I like the open-endedness. As much as my brain works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to try to be a little more open-minded about this. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, oh well. Then each day, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they have a very short task to complete. So short, but not easy necessarily. So they read about Just Right books. I think that at least in the beginning, we're going to read this whole group. Then they're going to work with a partner that I will assign. This will be something we don't start until week 2. Our first week is only Thursday, Friday. So week 2 or 3 even, until I kind of get a feel for their reading levels and who would be a good match for them. I don't want to pair a very, very, very high reader with a very, 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 very low reader, because there's going to be frustration, embarrassment. I don't want that. I want people that are fairly close in reading abilities. It's okay to have a higher and a lower, just not quite as big of a gap. So We're going to first read it all together. I'll do some fluency mini lessons about our voice tone, punctuation as we're reading, those kind of things. And then we will go through at least one of these whole group doing the activities so that they understand what my expectations are of them. Day one, what is the author's purpose of the text? That's a whole thing. I mean, that is a whole thing. I am not going to expect brilliant answers here if it's something that we have not already kind of discussed. Yes, they've had that in second grade, third grade, even first grade. But I'm their new teacher. I'm going to have to reteach, those things. But we can talk about, especially with the title Just Write Books, the author's purpose is going to be to inform, the PIE, persuade, inform, entertain. The author is trying to inform us about why it's important to pick Just Write Books. I cannot with myself today. Okay, so anyway, there were 4 passages in the first product, the back to school. This is kind of cool. I copied it out double page because whenever you're printing something times 60 and laminating and cutting out, I have to be a little frugal with how I'm doing it. But this is in there. Now, like I said, this is doubles to a page. So the normal page would be just 2 on a page. Does that make sense? Am I making sense today? I don't know. But it talks about text marking, something I really enjoyed reading, something I thought was important. I don't know. I love the idea. We have so little time and so much that we have to get through. This might be on the back burner for a while, but I like that it's there. Then on the next pack that I bought, there are 5, and I think the ones that I've been looking at most have 5 articles, and they have different things. I'll just do this on the back, so they kind of scaffold through what different reading lessons you could be teaching. So I kind of love that too. But animal adaptations. Gone are the Lexile levels. And like I said, and there's only 1 per, but I'm not sure that it's on every one. Sorry, I was thinking about, Doritos, just kidding. Anyway, that is the animal adaptations that I will use after. So I only bought these 2, first of all, because I have to make sure it's something that we can use and is helpful for the children, helpful for me to gauge their fluency. So way back when I was talking about fluency, I think this is one way that I want to help them increase their fluency. Now, my content teacher partner said, does it have the numbers at the end of each line? You know how you count how many words per minute? This is not that. This is not that product. It is close reading. So she wasn't inventing it for that. I actually have fluency practice that I made. It's in my Teachers Pay Teachers shop. I could get that out and I could use that. That is simply reading for fluency. It does not have comprehension built in at all. So I might pull those back out. I've used those a lot in 3rd grade. Fluency, as long as, and this is a me opinion based on almost 3 decades of teaching, as long as you are encouraging good reading, not flying through the text at record speed just to have a higher number, and reading for an audience, then I think fluency practice is very important and very good. If you're encouraging students to read at the speed of light just to get a bigger number, really? I mean, what is the point of that? That's not real life. That's not how we read. We read to understand, we read to comprehend, we read to learn, we read to know things, we read to be entertained. So that's my take on that. However, when you have pokey readers, they're not comprehending because fluency is such a big part of being able to comprehend. If liken it to driving, if you're a new driver, at first you're so overwhelmed with, am I in gear? Are my mirrors right? Are there cars coming? That you're not being an overall good watcher of the road. As you get, as those things become more just part of what you do, part of your driving, they fade into the background, and now you can really focus on the road ahead of you. That's how I look at fluency. Once the words aren't difficult to read, now you can understand and enjoy the text. So that's my little soapbox moment about fluency. Now, where I was going with that was fluency. If you have a passage that is a little easy for the reader, it's okay, because you're getting better at things like your tone as you're reading, your character voice, your whatever you want to call all those things. Think about how you are as a reader when you read out loud to children. That's what you're encouraging when you're developing fluency. So my point in all that was, yes, my fluency passages that I wrote were for 3rd grade. However, 2nd grade teachers bought them, some 1st grade teachers bought them and responded, these are awesome for my high readers. I can use them in 4th grade for my mainstream readers. So anyway, that's that. Man, did I get nerdy there for a minute. I love teaching. I love all things teaching. And so I wanted to share those 2 products with you. Now, really quickly, I'm going to show you one more thing. My sweet little former 3rd grader turned college student. I'm not that old. She brought me this in a goodie bag full of all kinds of sweet things. She's the one that came in to do some intern hours in my class because she's going to be a teacher. She has honed her, what am I trying to say? Her specialty. She is a brilliant musician, and so she wants to be a music teacher. Good on her. Anyway, for teacher appreciation, I couldn't think of what that's called. She brought me this super cool planner. Here's the company name, just in case you want to go online and see if they have them. I have not looked. Elum, that's a long U sound. Elum, I don't know. Anyway, it says ELUM Designs Inc., San Diego, California, and their website is just elumdesigns.com. I'm not saying the word Elum sounds, well, maybe it's like illuminate spelled really wrong. Anyway, doesn't even matter. This is a weekly planner, and I thought, I just can't wait to use this, but also, like, what am I going to do if they don't make it next year? Yes, that is where my brain goes. So I took our, this is my district's, I'm just going to do that calendar, and it has all of our holidays, all of our early release Wednesdays, conference days, all those things. I took everything, and look at how cute this is. Oh, I know. So this is something that I use to organize that you maybe could use as well. If you can't find this, come on, you can make that. That is not difficult. Now, I am going to write directly on here for some things. However, I anticipate a high number of Post-its on here as I change things, as I go through the year. This is going to be my planning board. And then from here, I will develop my lesson plans and my slides. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so our first week, July, I know. Let's go to a week that is not our first day of school. All right, here we go. Well, that one's Labor Day. I know. Here we go. All right, so what I did is I wrote here and I circled what week of school that we are in. So this is our week 8. There's the Monday, the beginning date. I goofed, so I had to go back. I know I don't want to talk about it because it's killing me, and I might have to go back and redo it again. I don't know how. Anyway, there's the date each day. I didn't put anything for weekend because quite frankly, I don't know if I'll use that one. I may just put a sticky there, and if I have things that I need to prep over the weekend, or, you know. This is the number day of school we're on. So September 15th is the beginning of our 8th week of school. It is our 31st day of school. September 16th is our 32nd day of school. Down here I have, this is like all in code, this is how teachers talk. The day, we are on a day 1 through 6 system, so that determines what special we have that day. So it is a day 2 on our 6-day schedule. It is a day 3 on our 6-day schedule. If it is a modified Wednesday, I put MW for modified Wednesday. This one is, it is a day 3 p.m. So we have PM and AM days. One of those we have a special, one of those we don't. So every other week you hear me cry, and those are the days that we don't have a special. I'm not honestly sure what our schedule looks like this year, so maybe, no, I'm not. I was gonna say I'll go and write the special on there, like for each day. No, why would I do that? I'm just going to put in the front our schedule, like our day 1 through 6 schedule. That'll be fine, because not only do I have to keep track of my own, I have to keep track of my partner teachers, because every other day we take the other homeroom to their special because we have them at that different time of day. It's very confusing. I feel like I need an abacus, a drafting table, and maybe an engineering degree to figure this out. But for now, I mostly have it figured out. So depending on what you teach, content, how you think, and how you plan, this may or may not help you. For me, I love this. I color code. Now these colors are not, those are okay. I'm fine with that because it's pretty. But what I was thinking I might do is, and I'm sure I already own them, 3 different colors for the 3 main subjects that I teach. I teach reading, writing, social studies. We have a new social studies curriculum. That one can, you know, be, let's just say that's a tiny green sticky tab. Blue really is social studies though, if I'm being honest. Actually, yeah, because science is green. It just is, don't argue. Blue could be social studies. Yellow could be reading, and green could be writing. I'm just making all that up right now, but I'm anticipating just having little stickies kind of all over. And you know, the nice part about that is if I know that up here, you know, weeks from now, this is week 13, we're getting close to parent teacher conference and Halloween. Oh, there was that one really cool writing prompt about, can you sell a haunted house? I can just stick that on a sticky in the color of whatever I choose for the writing and put that here or in the notes section. Love that for me. So if that is something that would help you, I just wanted to share. Yes, you can make it on your own. If you are a person who loves things electronically, I love that for you. That is not me. I do like things electronically too. Would I be the kind of person that would also recreate this and put it on the computer? Probably. No, I'm not going to do that. But I mean, you could totally do this in like GoodNotes, or is that what it's called? GoodNotes? I feel like it is, but I could have also made that up. It's one that I used on my iPad. Anyway, you could do whatever you want, but I just wanted to share with you kind of one idea of how you can organize for teaching. And that's really all I wanted to share. I'm going to laminate those Bump It Up components, get that ready for my bulletin board. I'm gonna think that through for a little while. Also, before I leave today, I am going to take about an hour. Let's see, it's 10 to 10. I don't know, we'll see. I'm working on that class. And then I have a social studies class to look at our new curriculum next week. I feel kind of like I'm very schooly this summer. Also, cannot wait to get my bulletin board going in the hallway. I have ideas. I have big ideas, and I do mean big. Big as in size. We'll see. I'll show you some of those soon when I get them on paper. I've had them on paper a few times and then I've scrapped them and I've tried again. So we'll see. I have some things coming from Amazon to help me out on that. I'll help you. It will help me. Can you help me, please? It will help me to be able to visualize the final product, which who knows when that'll happen. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go laminate, get things ready. And if you have any teacher questions that I can answer, drop them below. Also tell me, how do you get ready? How do you start? How do you plan? Do you use anything like this? How do you do it? Maybe I'll adopt your way. I'm all about the adoption. You know, some call that stealing. I call it adopting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.